In a rather obscure pro-Anna online community, girls with anorexia nervosa often gather to share their experiences with the eating disorder. Some chose to embrace it, others say it chose them. One thing in common amongst most of these girls, however, is their strange embodiment of their mental illness, appropriately named Anna. When you eat, she starves. When you starve, she eats. Anna is your friend, and she wants to help you. She is very sick, so she needs a lot of food. Strangely, these girls often report their friend is constantly belittling them, discouraging them from eating, and sending strange messages, constantly reassuring them that they only want to help. The way they speak of Anna makes her sound as if she's a real girl, a friend of theirs they trust before anyone else. So many of these girls seem to religiously follow the word of Anna, that it seems as if they truly believe in her, and that her insults are in good faith. Anna eats well because of them, and Anna praises them as their weight sinks lower and lower. A girl who is 5'10" and just brushing the underweight line, however, still does not live up to Anna's standards. At first, what seems like a crash diet, followed by a misguided teenage girl, leads to self-mutilation and a complete lack of self-worth and devotion to Anna. Anorexia nervosa will eventually kill 1 in 10 girls who suffer from the disorder, the ones who are Anna's most loyal friends. The cure was found a month later after reports of suicide. That was Anna's friends. Next story in this little group of stories is The Shadows in the Corner of Your Eye. You've seen the shadows in the corner of your eye, right? Those shadows that disappear just as quick as they appear? You've always been ignoring them, those shadows, but you should not. They're there for a reason, for everything has a reason. The reason they are there varies from shadow to shadow, but the reason is most often daunting. But they seek no harm. In fact, they are there to help you, protect you from the beasts that are trying to get you. But the shadows fight them. But after 80 years ago, the shadows are too tired to fight anymore. So the beast will get you. If the beast gets you, you just simply die. That was The Shadows in the Corner of Your Eye. Next story up is 7 Minutes. If you've ever been in a near-death experience, you may have seen your life flash before your eyes. I've asked several people about this. They say it was like they went through their whole life in a second. That's not too far-fetched. Your brain likes to avoid stress, not to deal with facing death. So if your brain was to think you were gonna die, it would go to the easiest escape possible, the memory. So when it comes close to your end, your brain turns on every memory you ever had. The brain will also stay alive for about 7 minutes after you die, provided your brain is intact. So if you have 7 minutes and you could experience your whole life in 1 second, that's 60 lives per minute. 420 lives in 7 minutes. That's a lot of time and a lot of experiences with death. That was 7 Minutes, aka 7 Minutes in Hell, apparently. That's twisted. Our, I believe, final story for the night, unless I change my mind midway through this insanity, is known as Quilt Makers. If a little old lady asks you to help her make a quilt, it's best to politely decline. In the area surrounding the town of Pearl, Mississippi, people began to go missing. Eyewitness reports told of a set of 3 elderly ladies. The word was at least one of the 3 would talk to the victims before they mysteriously vanished in the following days. One lady, possibly the last intended victim, was approached by one of the women in helping her and her 2 friends make a quilt. She mentioned that they would pay well. Before the old lady left, she handed the woman a business card. Lucky for the woman, sketches of the 3 old ladies had been on television recently, and she recognized the person whom she had just spoken to as one of those 3. So the police raided the address on the business card. They did find an unfinished quilt, made from patches of human skin. Other than that, they never found any trace of the woman. So, if an old lady is paying well for help with the quilt, you might want to decline. That was Quiltmaker. Wait, wasn't there like a similar Courage the Cowardly Dog episode of this one? Weird. Only it was the Souls, I think. And it was a two-headed lady. Anyway, that was 3 more stories from hell, or the creepypasta wiki. Whichever, they're the same place. Just one's accessible by the internet. Wait, is hell accessible by the internet? I'll get back to you on that. Until then, talk to you guys later. Bye!